MS community. I hope you're all doing well. We are going to make banana bread today. And the reason we're going to make banana bread is because I happen to have some old, really sweet, delicious, very brown bananas, and they need to be used. So it's a banana bread day. And of course, on the MS diet, we only use non-gluten-based grain flours. So we're using flours made out of nuts. We're using an almond flour today. And I have already put into my bowl the dry ingredients. I've put in 2 cups of almond flour, a pinch of salt, which I literally just pinched over, and I've put in a teaspoon of baking soda. Okay? So that's the dry ingredients. To which I am going to add the wet ingredients, which are going to be 3 eggs. And I like to take my eggs out of the refrigerator for a little bit of time, about an hour beforehand, so that they are not too cold. I don't know if it makes a difference, but that is my preference. And we have, as you can see, put 3 eggs into our dry ingredients. I'm now going to add my homemade vanilla extract, which I'm going to add a teaspoon of. I love vanilla extract, and I make it takes me about a year to make vanilla extract. I take a vanilla bean and I put it into alcohol. I use vodka typically. Sometimes you can use bourbon, and I just let it sit there for a year. That's a long time, but I get this really beautiful, really beautiful and delicious tasting vanilla. We're also going to add a tablespoon of honey, which you can see I'm doing very, kind of on the cuff here. I'm just getting a big spoon and putting a tablespoon in there. We're not adding that much honey to this recipe, although many other bread recipes we add a little bit more, because our bananas are so sweet. Our bananas are so sweet. And then you've heard me say it before, I love to put my honey spoon into a cup and use it for my tea later. So we've put in 3 eggs. We've put in a teaspoon of baking soda. We've put in a pinch of salt, 3 eggs, lukewarm, and we've also put in a tablespoon of honey and a teaspoon of vanilla. And now I'm going to mix this all together. Super easy to mix this. You can blend it in a blender if you want, but I don't need to. I just have a really nice mixing spoon, which I have a spoon that I use that has some holes in it, and I like that because it sort of aerates everything. But look how easily that's mixing. That's, not lumpy at all. Super easy. And then we're going to add our very brown bananas. And I love these bananas when they're super brown, and they may be funky to the look, but man, they are sweet. Really sweet. And we're just adding our very sweet, really brown bananas. And then I don't have enough. I just added 1.5 bananas, so I'm going to add a yellowish banana, and I'm going to squeeze it with my fingers. I can mash it up with my hand. Of course, I've washed my hands, just to get it in there, right? And then I just take it off my fingers, so it's already mashed. And I think I might even want a bit more banana taste. I'm just in the mood, so I'm going to mash it up. Super easy. After that, I'm going to wash my hands. And when that's done, I'm going to reach over and I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of coconut oil, which I've already, it was a coconut butter, but I've already used it on the, warmed it up on the stove. And I'm just going to blend. So I'm going to repeat the ingredients one more time. 2 cups of almond flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, pinch of salt, not too much salt, tablespoon of honey, not too much honey, teaspoon of vanilla, 3 eggs, lukewarm, taken out of the refrigerator a little bit before, and then about at least 1.5, if not 2, very brown bananas, and then you can add additional bananas for taste, and you can then add your coconut oil. I have, 1/4 cup of coconut oil, and that's it. We are done. The only thing that I'm going to do, just for fun, before I put this into my baking pan, which by the way, I took the coconut oil and I just took the rest of it and poured it, just a small amount of it into there. It's not really necessary because this is a pretty greasy bread. It's already got a lot of coconut oil in it, but you know, we've got some coconut oil in there. We can push it around. It'll just make it a little easier to take it out of the pan. But that's basically it. But before I put it in the oven, which by the way I have now heated already at 350, I'm going to get some walnuts. And I'm going to put some walnuts in here. And then I'm going to pour it into my baking pan and put it in the oven. But one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm taking my spoon and I'm pushing any of the bananas that were not so brown towards the edge just to break them up because I don't like it to be lumpy. But this is a very smooth mix. You can see it already. Very, very smooth. Everything's very soft. And as I said, I'm going to add maybe 3/4 of a cup of walnut pieces because my husband and I like that little texture in the banana bread. So that's it. A delicious, wonderful banana bread with an extra piece of banana left over that I can pop in my mouth and enjoy. I wish you all a wonderful day. This is the MS almond flour banana bread recipe. Enjoy.